One of the complaints I hear when I'm talking about interviewing and hiring is that hiring managers are just gonna go with the person they like best. They're just gonna go with the person they connect with. And to a degree, that is true. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you 5 additional ways to impress the hiring manager. So when the dust settles, maybe you're that candidate, they decide, I like this person and I wanna move forward with them. Let's go. Now, my first tip is tell unforgettable stories about why you were inspired to do the work you do. I always think about engineering when I think about this, but the power of story in an interview process and in terms of leveraging it in a way to stand out is incredible. So if you tell stories about how growing up you were always interested in blank and that's why you decided to pursue a job in this area, it is really powerful. 1, people remember stories, but 2, showing that motivation, that it's a long-term thing for you and that you've been inspired for a significant period of time. Well, that's incredibly powerful. Every single hiring manager out there wants to hire someone who feels like doing that job is more than a job. And by giving them the origin story, by giving them the background, by giving that I'm always wanted to do this since I was a kid, it's letting them know that, hey, this isn't just a job for me, I'm inspired by this. And that will definitely help you stand out. The next piece of advice is talk about something that you don't know, but you're currently inspired to learn, or you're learning it, right? People are always talking about what they know, what they can do, and what they've done in their interview process. And that all makes sense. You should definitely do that in an interview. But one of the things people don't do enough is talk about the things they are learning, or talk about how they have an interest in something and their next goal is to pursue learning that, specifically something that's parallel to what they're doing. They're related. It's going to benefit them if you increase your learning or your knowledge by learning that specific thing. So talk about something that you're passionate about, you don't know yet, but you're in the process of learning, or you're motivated to learn and it's kind of up next in terms of your own personal development. Just the fact that you're doing personal development and you're growing is going to be interesting to them, but if it's specifically related to what you're doing, it's a great way to stand out. The next thing I want to talk about, and I've talked about this before, but I think it goes well here, is don't say I too much. Most hiring managers, if they have a team, they want to hire great teammates. They don't want someone who is going to upset the apple cart or cause dysfunction in their team. And if a person just says I, it can have the tendency to make them feel like, well, what did you do as a team? Now, on the flip side of this, you can't just say we, as a team, we, because then they're going to wonder, well, what were your actual contributions? You know, at the end of the day, striking a balance here is really important. Saying I accomplished this or we as a team did this, a little bit of both of these things goes a long way to making them think, Ben is specifically doing things and contributing to the success of his organization, and Ben is a good teammate. That balance is really important. One of the tactics that no one uses but is really powerful to stand out in an interview is share your experience of times things didn't work out and what you've learned. So for example, they're gonna ask you questions throughout the interview. They're gonna say, Ben, do you have any experience with this tool? And that is a great opportunity to not just say yes, but give them a memorable story, share some humility, and demonstrate your ability to take a time where you came up short and improve as a professional. Be like, yeah, I do. I've used that quite a bit. I remember the first time I used it, I worked on a project and I actually ended up having a few different errors and some difficulty using it. And the project didn't quite turn out as I've expected. And it really motivated me to get better at this one competency. And ever since then, it's been a focus of mine. And now I would consider it a strength because I've put so much time and effort into becoming quite proficient with this specific tool. That is powerful. You shared some humility. You shared a little bit about yourself, about how you're always growing and improving and you're intentional. You take your failures personally. If you mess up at something, you don't get discouraged. You focus on getting better. You have packed a ton of things for them to pick up on one answer. It's a great way to stand out in an interview. Lastly, show vision for the future. A lot of people speak to how they're a great fit for the current job description. And that's great. You should do that. But early in the interview process, I like to ask about the future of the team and where they're going. And then as I get to the final rounds of the interview, I like incorporating how I fit in with the future vision. I'm not just a fit now, I'm a fit in the future. Like, yes, I can do this job, but one of the things I'm really passionate about is A, B, and C. And when that's aligned to where you know the organization or where the team is headed, this is allowing them not just to imagine you as a fit today, but as a fit in 2 years. If the person you are interviewing with is someone who is a visionary too, this is really powerful because they want to hire people who are going to grow with them. And by showing them that you're not just a fit for now, you're a fit for in the future and how you want to move in the direction they're heading, I mean, it's an incredibly powerful tool. I think it's powerful for just about any hiring manager, showing your future facing, future thinking perspective, but also how you're going to evolve with the organization. Just a really powerful tool. Now this video is done, but I want you to watch this video because this video right here, this is 10 things that you never want to hear in a job interview. People always say it's really hard to know, did my interview go well? Did it not go well? And most of the time it's because they don't know what to look for. But if you watch this video, you will absolutely be able to listen for signs that are bad.